This then resulted in him going live, walking around his city while crying and even at some points threatening things. Even replying to people on Blue Sky saying, quote, "When I'm dead, I want this post to be cited." Rush the Cat replies to Brony by saying, "Here's the thing, you said nothing at all as well, and wanted people to be at Saber's throat." And Brony says, "He's an artist. I don't care if his life is ruined. I never asked anyone to have any reaction to him or the accusations at all." Brony then goes on to make a separate thread where he says, "This is what happens when you speak out against racists. You win, everyone. I'll shut up. I'll never do it again."
Oh, here we are back again. Good afternoon, everybody. Today in this video, we're gonna watch a quick retrospect on one of the most insane stories on this channel, that being the Saber's Park drama. Actually, you know what? Let me give a better name: the KP and Brony Fandont drama. Like a Bonnie and Clyde story. So far, not much new stuff has come out, so if you're looking for any recent updates, you won't find that here. But if you want to see me ramble like a madman, then stick around.
One of Saber's Park's accusers, Brony Fandont, the original poster of the thread on Twitter that got millions of views, had an emotional breakdown on the site and subsequently on livestream after Saber's Park released his response.
No. Are they gonna pull the fucking stream where they were going through a bridge? I wanna see that. I wanna see that. All I saw from it was like, so the only place I saw it from, was the Angry Slug or Slug Entertainment live stream. But I wanna see, the actual key parts of it. Oh god.
Response video. In the thread,
the only things I covered were where Slug called the police and they shamefully intervened. But I want to see the previous ones if they were archived.
He accuses ILoveKimPossibleALot of harassing the victim, also claiming that the victim will soon come out with their identity, revealing more information, before succumbing to a lot of the negative responses crashing out on the website. This then resulted in him going live, walking around his city while crying and even at some points threatening things. Even replying to people on Blue Sky saying, quote, "When I'm dead, I want this post to be cited."
Oh my god, sorry, what? What does that mean? Choose next fighting. Okay, what does that mean? And why would that motivate you to be like, when I'm dead, they're gonna blame you. You're to blame. No, there was that power, they were documenting responses, right? Because maybe in the off chance that they were right and they get proven correct, they will be used against them, and that's why. That's what I forgot about that. Yeah, bro, they was so crazy.
Naturally,
it was either to prove how they're wrong when the victim comes out as a telling the truth, or either when they do kill themselves, they'll all be blamed. That's right. Oh
in
my
response
god.
to all this, like on the Saber's Park subreddits, people were in shock, with others saying that they can't really feel bad for the guy. And Mr. Enter also put out a document about all the recent events, saying that he didn't really like Saber's Park's response, and that he himself has also been in direct contact with the victim, and he will be also making a video going over everything. Welcome to the...
Bro, I heard that name over and over on the Reddit. Is he like a respected source as well?
Internet versus Brony Fandont's fallout. It starts when Brony tweets out, "I'm sorry."
I was gonna say, as what people were saying before, right? Like this drama, these allegations should be handled offline, go to the police. And I agree, right? But if it has to be, absolutely solved on the internet, there are reputable people, for this. I can't really name off any on top of my head, but I guess Mr. Enter is one, who's being considered for this. But unfortunately, they picked KP as the first one.
Right.
God.
I was promised things would happen a certain way, and they didn't. They still aren't. I'm going to explain as much as I possibly can without exposing the victim. They will be coming forward.
That's what, bro, this part was so bizarre in my mind. I was promised things. What does that mean, your promise? Right, that was the first sign, right off the bat, that they didn't care about justice. They didn't care about, having the actual victim saved. They were given a deal, right? Sacrifice your internet credibility for the chance of having that, that non-Saber's Park, deplatformed. And that's why, from the very beginning, before we knew it, they were just completely biased. They could never be trusted at all.
Just don't know when anymore. The night before Saber's Park posted his response video, ILoveKimPossibleALot threatened the victim with a voice memo over Discord. Afterwards, me and the victim got in a call and planned for what to do about it. The plan...
Bro, this voice memo blew my fucking mind, right? Well, let me real quick. They threatened the victim. Yeah, that part, that was the one contention I was keeping in my mind. Okay, so that is a voice memo, right? And instead of, leaking it, being like, okay, KP is officially, disavowed. They held on to it until it helped them, oh my god, guys, KP, this is really bad. Okay, then why didn't you expose it before, before letting it rest, investing it as a trump card to save yourself? That's so pathetic.
Plan was for her to come forward yesterday. Twitter will not let me upload this video no matter what I try, so it's on the better site. Then he attached...
They're so dumb as well. They couldn't upload an MP4 on Twitter. Or what are you, child?
Just a link to Blue Sky.
Actually, To my knowledge, right, from the little identity we could see or hear in the live stream, I think Bonk, one of the users, is like an actual 18-year-old. Either that or a very, very young person.
Guy with this 2-minute audio clip of KP attached. This is KP to the anonymous victim.
From my understanding, you shared a
I'll give my summary again, real quick. This is fucking insane, right? I think like they showed the actual carelessness she had for this. At some point she's like, oh, your timeline is very questionable, right? So choose things right. Either she knew the timeline was questionable, but she still fucking platformed the allegations, or second of all, she's hearing the timeline now. Fucking now, after the video's already done. Wanna get like all your eggs, all your evidence first, and then make your video. You actual moron.
Dropbox.
And she takes like this small inconvenience of, having her name somewhat leaked in her Dropbox. She uses that as a point against her, to threaten her, blackmail her.
File with lazy, and your fucking name was on it. I don't know if you're aware of that, but that's direct confirmation. So I'm at the point where my reputation is on the line.
My reputation? Because guys, take a shot every time she says my reputation, or just my in general, it's all about her and her.
Of you. And I feel like an idiot because of you. And you can
either count my and I.
Help me clean up this mess and get in a call and tell your side of the story, or this is going to blow up in your face, because people have already figured out it's you based on that mistake. And I'm fucking tired, because the things that have been pointed out to me is that you have your own platform. You knew going in that people were going to figure it out. Maybe not this quickly, maybe not by your own mistake, but they did. And you can be an adult and help me clean up this mess, or you can be a coward. I'm not yelling at you.
That part was fucking insane. You can clean up yourself or be a coward. What credible journalist, right, would speak to what they believe to be a victim at this stage? That's so fucked up. Hey, I believe that you were traumatized by this, as evident by the fact that I platformed your allegation, but still, fuck you, you deserve to be chastised for this very small inconvenience. Not because, it hurts the story, but because it hurts my reputation.
I'm not telling
I never saw in the beginning, right, why the victim was anonymous. People are saying now, oh, they never shared their name or identity because they don't exist. They're a figment. I don't believe that's the case, right? Because it's very clear that Brony Fandont, as they said, they will promise something by someone. So they were very clearly misled in the beginning.
Telling you what to do, but you've put people that are in the video in a very difficult and dangerous position, and I don't think you really understand that. And so I'm at the point where I talked to this guy Beckett, and he said,
yeah, but Beckett is like Cope-and-Sieve, that guy, that channel, the archive stuff. I really want to see the interview between Beckett, Cope-and-Sieve, and KP. He said on Twitter, right, that she was more negotiable than she is, normally, in this fucking voice message, a psycho. So she seems nicer, than what we're seeing right now. But still though, doesn't really say much, because for his entire story, she's fucked up every single step.
I
want to get her point of view of what made you think everything was okay with this, and it should be fueled with your involvement.
You have the chance right now to tell your side of the story in a call with me or with Lazy or with him or with someone, or people are going to villainize you, and that's where we're at. And none of the things that have been pointed out to me doesn't make any sense. The timeline is questionable. The only people that vouched for you were Brony and Amy and Sophie, and Amy won't even fucking talk to me. So I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm being real with you. It's fucked. You're fucked one way or the other. So make a decision soon, or I will publicly confirm it was you. You have 24 hours.
That's insane, dude. Okay, what would you do is right. Even if you come out, victorious on this side, people will still be like, holy fuck, they treat this victim with little regard at all, being so disrespectful, threatening her, to dox her name or leak it to hurt her privacy, her safety. That's insane.
Back over.
It seems very hard. She already made a video about DA Games and Cyber Park, but if you're at that point, right, where you slowly realize, oh fuck, it's not gonna work, then just bite the bullet and dump it, or give it to somebody else, like Mr. Enter, if he's good with this kind of stuff, right? But don't keep on pushing it. It's a complete sucking cost fallacy.
Over to Twitter, Brony continues their thread. The context you need to know for this memo is that KP is attempting to threaten and gaslight the victim. She was accused of—
yeah, no, that's so fucking, but don't give me this shit, right? Oh my god, they were threatening and gaslighting the victim. Okay, why share it now, If the second it happened, you should have leaked it immediately, but no, you held onto it when it, it became easier for you. It helped you out. That's pathetic. Get the fuck out of here.
Of leaking the victim's identity to parties, possibly for revenge purposes. KP attempts to deflect the blame. Near the end of the video...
What about you? What about you?
Well, KP implies the victim's story doesn't add up. She's full of shit. She wants to discredit the victim so she can claim she was used, as though that would make her video make sense.
Okay, wait. You just said yourself, you will promise something. I wasn't given to you. So was she not right? I mean, she was like fucking dumb, right? But was she not right in that regard that it makes no sense?
Wouldn't. In response to this, the plan was for her to come forward and present the information she couldn't share without revealing herself before. We didn't know Saber was going to post his video within that time, and it wasn't why plans changed either. Drama YouTuber Lazy Bedhead was in talks with the victim prior to Saber's video. Afterwards, the tone changed. She began telling
I haven't seen this stuff before, actually, as a matter of fact.
Victim that the video would actually not paint her in a good light because of things Lazy heard about her. The things she said were not true. Let me reiterate. Lazy Bedhead had the victim there to talk with, and instead of asking her about these separate allegations, she threw them in her face. The victim spent the next few hours proving her innocence instead of posting her story. The victim is not doing well currently. I will be upfront and say, despite how they handled things so far, the victim still wishes to wait and see how the video turns out. After convincing them, she really is a victim. I'm not out.
Is it a guy, Lazy Bedhead? Is that his name? Are they like way more reliable than fucking KP? Oh no. I've never heard of them.
I'm also revealing a lot. I don't want to go against their wishes. I've spent the last day talking with them, but everyone thinks I'm lying about our allegations. People are threatening to dox me, kill me. I'm losing friends who don't know the full story. I'm not lying. Neither is the victim. I think her—
Oh, so they were still sticking by the victim, the accuser. Oh, that's insane, actually. I want to preface it, right? Like I said before, if you guys saw my YouTube post, right, I find like this account deplorable, but the people behind it are really, like the fans, I mean, sorry, they're fucking vile. They're disgusting. The second they hear about, Civil Spark being, a rapist, a sexual assaulter, they will feel it. They will fucking like bring out the torch and pitchforks, be like, Civil Spark, you're going down, you're gonna be deplatformed. But then the very day, that he made his response, those people, that are being so vitriolic, they either, they left, that drama, or they started defending Saber Spark. They were defending him, I swear to God, and then they were going after Brony, sending death threats. I think the majority of people, right, were like correcting them, right? But a very small but vocal minority were like doing awful shit, trying to dox them, sending death threats, all that insane shit. Like this is the worst kind of people, right? That blow up allegations, and then when it dies down, they turn against, the other party that they were supporting previously. They're fucking disgusting, dude.
Her coming forward.
And I say that right because the kind of people like, that engage with this in the beginning, they don't believe the allegations immediately, and then, once they get the full story, by the response, they then, okay, so right, that's it, end of story. They close the book, they go about their normal lives. But these people, they stay, committed throughout every single step. They switch parties, but they get vitriolic to both sides, no matter what.
Forward yesterday, as we said was the plan, would have gone even better due to Saber's response. He didn't talk about his allegations. Bringing forward information immediately after his response that—
No, he did it. He just called it fake. He called it, bullshit.
Didn't respond, I think, would have been best. I don't want to see if Lazy makes a good video or not. She's already spread misinformation about me in her last video due to her lack of research.
Oh God. Wait, hold on. Is Lazy an actual bad YouTuber? Or are they like rightfully calling out, your fuck-ups?
Now, she's proven she's not a journalist at all. I don't want her, or Courtney, KP, etc., having power.
Oh, fuck. That's so moronic, You don't want Lazy, you don't want KP, you don't want any YouTubers. The most trustworthy person is you, Brony Fandont. Fuck right off, dude.
The victim will come forward when she is ready, with what she can provide. If you expect me to expose her identity, you are a fool.
I'm sorry, but fuck, like I realize now, right? Whenever you have this kind of stuff, right? Don't trust me. Don't make allegations, when you don't feel comfortable, showing your identity, showing your name, your face, whatever. Because otherwise, you get this kind of stuff where you can't show any evidence because you don't want to yet. You want to keep it private. Just, get all your cards ready, feel comfortable, and then come out. Don't do it one by one, where it painfully drags out the story to be much worse.
But
attention is very dire in these kind of situations, right? Do it swiftly and clean, right? Don't spend days or weeks like they did, being like, guys, just wait, we have the evidence, just give us one more day.
Can't spend more time being the internet's punching bag. I don't know if this will change anything, but doing nothing was killing me. Once the big three are no longer a problem for everyone, I'm stepping away for good. I'm not doing anything for clout. You all suck. Saber said nothing at all, and you wanted my throat. I just wanted consequences. No one who deserves it ever faces consequences.
I'm so fuck.
No lies needed. Maybe the internet will actually fucking learn something, and Saber can be the reverse quite. My faith is at an all-time
I did get a lot of my comments under my videos, as a matter of fact.
low though. Everyone needs to do better. You're not fucking animals. There are no witches to burn.
Oh my god. Holy fuck. There's one person, anyone can make this point, but Brony Fandont. That's so ironic. They platformed the allegation in the first place, right? No, two things, right? They platformed the allegation in the first place with no evidence, and they built the entire career of fucking going after, they went after Black Griffin the most. They criticized Citrus Park a tiny bit, but like the main success came from milking Black Griffin, you know, as a groomer, all that insane stuff. So the one single time they fuck up, right, you know, they get a nail on the foot, you know, that's it, it's over, you know. They were like, there's a label of being a sheriff, you know, a vigilante. It's gone now, they give up. Fuck.
Only disgusting humans to distance from. Knights replies, to be honest, I hope KP does oust you both. You used an essay story to
Fuck no. What would you say that?
get revenge on some guy you had beef
Or
with.
do you mean oust, like, you know, like expose them for shit behavior? That's fine. I thought they meant like oust, like, you know, dox them.
With pathetic. And Brony replies, what the fuck are you talking about? And Knight says, gonna say this, but to get help. Did you screw up? Yes. Do you need to take accountability? Yes. Do you need to end yourself? Absolutely not. You fucked up. The end. Move forward with life. And quote tweets Brony and says, so now they're throwing Lazy Bedhead, who arguably sounds like the most responsible person in this story, under the bus because of their own continual screw ups here. Because Lazy didn't want to cover this.
I mean, it seems like so far, right? The only way you can interact with the story, like as a journalist, whatever, to cover it fully, is to stay the fuck away from this, right? Don't try to like do your own job by, you know, talking with them, because they will throw you in the bus and detract any credibility you might have had. No, just wait for them to, like, you know, publish all the evidence and then make a video on it, because these people are fucking rats, you know. Like whatever small mistake you do, right, they will archive it and then throw it out, you know, on the internet for their own saving grace. They're pathetic.
It's an incredibly toxic story. Brony Fandont is just
like, you might not, I think that mainly Brony does that, right? But KP, like, she will fucking, like, you know, she will, like, very toxic in person, like on Discord, whatever, privately. Like, or meanwhile on video, she's very cutesy, she's very innocent.
attacking Lazy.
They're all fucking worms.
Holy shit, this is worse than I thought. Lord AC replies to Brody by saying, what did you think he would do then? Meaning Saberspark. And how did him posting a video denying the claims the right wrench in your plan? And Brony says, is anyone actually reading what I write? Silver has glitched.
What do you mean?
Tweets Brony and says,
I'm so like, if you make a testimony or you approach a testimony, don't be surprised if it gets, you know, rebutted with words.
You've put others in danger prior, / pissed on real SA survivors, / throwing others under the bus to save your own skin, and you're surprised and horrified with how it's backfired now, but sure, keep acting stupid, abusing the block button, because that's surely helped you so far. And Brony replies,
they fucking cooked, holy shit.
no, I fucking didn't. Oh, and Harrington replies to Brony's original thread by saying, interesting how you're saying
like, they're getting, oh my god, it's every part of the story is so moronic, right? They're not willing, you know, for the victim to make more evidence, get all of the proof out there, right? They're responding to every single person. They're wasting valuable time and energy going after every fucking globe shitto that will more likely fucking not give a shit at all. Is that helping their case, right? And they're doing it to the point that they're going crazy. And I saw before having a stream with the suicide baiting. It makes no sense, dude.
all of this after KP's video got intense backlash and was taken.
If people knew like how young this user was, I'm not sure like, you know, how young all of the people are. I think there's multiple users, but like if I had to bet my money, right, they're all probably young, like, you know, 18, slightly over or below it. They're all just like, very young people that have no idea how to control themselves, you know, like they have no idea how to react to a backlash in any shape or form.
Down. And Brony replies, no, dumbass, none of this happened until after. It's not a coincidence, it's the passage of fucking time. Rush the Cat replies to Brony by saying, here's the thing, you said nothing at all as well, and wanted people to be at Saber's throats.
That's absolutely true. That's completely fucking true.
Only defended the victim without proof of said crime. Saber lost support on things. Some fans dropped him. His life, name, brand is no doubt ruined because of this. You got what you wanted. And Brony says, he's an artist.
Dude, this is fucking insane, right? I refuse to be charitable, right? Because even despite this, right, you know, having all the support fucking gone, they will still, like, you know, hold up the fucking allegations just boldly with no hesitation, like a moron. Look at this shit. He's a rapist. So far, all we have so far is a fucking testimony, nothing else. Some more might come out, right? But like when you have like a fucking block of text, how can you say boldly and make people believe you that he's a rapist?
I don't care if his life is ruined. I never asked anyone to have any reaction to him or the accusations at all. I even repeatedly said being cautiously skeptical is
I almost fucking dropped my goddamn water on my PC.
Fairly fair. I promoted a victim story. It was the right thing to do. Kara Simpson replies to Brony by saying, so you're stepping away despite you having all the evidence in the world to back the claim? In other words,
that's so fucking true as well. I'm backing down. Okay, so do you believe them or not? Pick a fucking side.
You fucked up and you fucked up big. You deserve everything that's coming. And Brony says, you need reading comprehension. I'm not stepping away until after it's finished. And Kara replies, bit rude telling someone with special needs they need reading comprehension, so you are stepping away then. Thank the lucky star.
A bit rude. They probably had no idea you're up or whatever.
Because you've done more damage than good. Have fun inside for damages and slander. And Brony replies, you are causing harm with your misinformation. I don't know you. If you cannot properly talk about something this serious for whatever reason, then don't talk about it. And Kara replies, think you better take that for advice, not anyone here. Average Chum replies to Brony by saying, the biggest issue I have is Bonk trying to tell the victim not to go to the police. Bonk being another name that Brony goes by. To trust them with their internet justice sounds like a huge power play. Like Bonk wants
That's well, like, you know, again, like this made me realize, like, over the past 2 years, unfortunately, like, you know, the justice system, like wherever you live, right, they're not very good when it comes to, like, you know, sexual assault or like this kind of stuff, right? It's very dodgy. It doesn't go far. However, right, I promise you, no matter what, you can trust the police way more than like a couple of fucking teenagers on Twitter with a Brony, a My Little Pony stan account. They are way more unprofessional than like any fucking police officer at a station, right? Never trust them at all. And like, if you want to write a bare minimum, go file a police report and then show it, you know, online, you know, to make it more credible, more believable, in my opinion.
Victim to trust them and only them. If there's really something, go to the police. And Brony replies, I never told the victim not to go to the police. Every fucking person hears my words and spits out
Wait, what?
Nonsense.
Oh, I never told him to not go to the police. Okay, well, did you not, you know, like, inspire them, you know, like tell them to go to the police?
Brony then goes on to make a separate thread where he says, this is what fucking happens when you speak out against
this one. Oh my god, get your ears ready for this one. Holy shit.
You win, everyone. I'll shut up. I'll never do it again. Griffin would be fine if I didn't help, and that's because no one else fucking tried enough. And you'll
I'm sorry, I can't like listen to this, you know, and not say anything. They like, this is like a huge sign, right, that they were full of ego up to this point, right? Because like they were going after Black Griffin for multiple years, I believe, right? And then the second, you know, that backfires, they're like, oh, how dare you, I'm a martyr. Black Griffin would be way more trusted, you know, as a safe person if it wasn't for me, right? Please forgive me for all this work, right? I fucked up majorly, but you know, I'm a fucking vigilante, I'm a savior.
Make sure no one ever does
again. Like, bear in mind, right? I don't think they're not the only person that covered, you know, Black Griffin. There are way more people apart from you, dumbass.
Saberspark are a girl, and you're all overjoyed to rip my throat out for him. You defeated me. Congratulations. Lesson learned. There is no good in this world. People would do everything
there is no good in this world.
They could to destroy it if there was.
I'm sorry, an actual teenager with an undeveloped brain. Wait, what do you call like that front part of your brain? Your cortex? An actual child without a developed cortex wrote this.
Darktail replies, we just don't want to blindly accuse someone of a crime without evidence. People could literally get killed because of that. And Brony,
okay, I don't agree at all. Who will kill Saberspark over this?
Replies, you are doing it right fucking now. And Darktail says, I don't even know who you are or what you look like. No one is going after you unless they dox you. Brony then tweets out,
oh no, oh, here we go. Oh, it's gonna be so fucking bad, dude.
A Twitch account Bonk said,
like this probably might be like, you know, inconsistent, because remember, mind you, right, they streamed, you know, from Twitch to Twitter, non-stop, because initially, oh yeah, they got blocked on Twitch first, because they were doing like, you know, showing violent stuff. I'm not sure like what that entailed, but like, it was bad enough. No, sorry, people report the account. That's right. They didn't show any self-harm, God no. But like, it got so many reports from viewers that they had to take it down, and then they went back to Twitter.
And right before he went live, he also was on Blue Sky replying to Sai Scribble saying, "Look at that, 2 snakes fighting." And then Brony says, "When I'm dead, I want this post."
I'm sorry, that perplexing. What does that mean? 2 snakes fighting? Is that offensive? Guys, give me a second. 2 snakes fighting, meaning choosing fighting can symbolize a variety of meanings: conflict, duality, or the balance between opposing forces in one's life. That didn't fucking help at all, whatever.
Posted to be cited. You fucking freak. However, to be completely transparent, this first stream is not super interesting. He doesn't really say much. It's just him walking around for about 25 minutes with the chat berating him or sending messages of support, such as Fluttershy, who says the guilt tripping has to stop, man. Peachline says a lot of people are worried for you. Twisted Metalcore says get off the internet for a while, bro. Ace of Shadow says he always does this. Some big allegations go wrong and he faked S for attention.
Wait, he did this before? he has a pass off this? No, if that's true actually, that's really pathetic. Holy shit.
What a loser, dude. Boo Bunny says, if this is seriously fake and you are wanting attention to being S-Wall, then you are awful as hell. I know many others who are genuinely in a bad spot, S-Wall spot even myself, and if this is just for attention, then this is so disgusting. Aerie says, please don't hurt yourself, especially not for Twitter users. Horrible website that doesn't represent society as a whole. And there's a bunch more that we'll skim over here later in the video.
Bro, like everyone here is being really nice to him. That's fucking, oh god.
To the Saberspark subreddit. But more importantly, after they tried to go live on Twitch, their account was banned, which then resulted in them going live on Twitter. And quick content warning for what's about to be.
Oh god, what are you saying? This is like, oh, that's well, right? Guys, you know, go back to like my original video about, you know, like this happening, and it got fucking age restricted. Why? Because I showed one clip where they were crying. That's it. It didn't show anything violent, but you know, oh, because you could hear them crying. That got cited, that got picked up as self-harm for whatever reason. Fuck you, YouTube.
Be shown in this.
Actually, oh god, they had a phone number. Oh, that's nice. Okay, you know, for the safety of this video, right? I have the footage, so I have the OBS on my face. That's it. Once I see, you know, like it getting better, I'll switch back to the main video.
Stream. It is displayed on screen, and on this Twitter live, there's a bit more interaction from.
No, fuck me, alright. If this video is staying up, you know, without a age restriction, it should be fine as well for me. Hopefully.
He's walking towards a bridge. You can actually see what's going on outside now. At first, he was just sobbing while walking towards the bridge.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you know, like once again, right? I have a tiny bit of sympathy in me for this, right? Like it's a very clearly dumb kid that has like all his ego shattering immediately. This is what happens, right? When fucking psychopaths on Twitter signal boost, you know, some dumb fucking kid on Twitter for being right against Black Griffin. It builds up non-stop, and then it blows up when he mishandles one thing.
And then once he approaches it, he starts telling himself to just do it.
No, that's messed up.
Just do it. Just do it. You need.
Oh, it's a girl. I saw the guy.
You can't not do it. You can't not do it.
You know, like forgive me if I look like I'm laughing, right? But I'm only smirking because I know the full story. They didn't jump, and it's very clear, like, you know, beforehand that it's just suicide baiting. Like I even like that's why, you know, like Slug Entertainment called the police. Like they were watching for a bit, and then they'd be like, no, so they were beginning with like, oh my god, this is so pathetic. They're suicide baiting. But regardless, right, in these situations, you don't want to ask the question of, you know, are you gonna do it, and then see the answer. No matter what, you want to prevent it.
Don't fucking do it.
Like, no, like, you know, like this is very clear, you know, suicide baiting. But regardless, you know, for that small fraction of chance, we want to avoid it.
Before the stream cuts out, and then it comes back to him sitting on the ground where he was standing looking over the bridge before.
Okay, I'm gonna block that, right? Because that fucking clip got my video banned. Also, not banned, you know, age restricted, whatever.
And just sobbing to himself.
I mean, it's not. You guys can hear the audio, right? It's just a video of, like, you know, of the trousers. That's it. Also, you know, guys, remember, check the full video in the description. You know, if you want to see this part potentially.
There's no point in me not doing it. There's nothing to go back to.
What? Oh, God, no, that's ridiculous. Brony Fandont is the only thing you have in your life? That's ridiculous. Fuck this. I'm sorry, like, I can't take this shit, right? It's so pathetic. I don't deny, like, all the insane fans sending death threats. I'm sure that happened. But, like, you know, to have like this reaction after, you know, after your own mistake is ridiculous, right? And, like, as you clearly saw in the chat, there were people being supportive for them. That's it. I think a very small minority fucking, you know, was being very toxic, very hateful. That's disgusting. But, like, this individual is not fit for this internet justice role, you know, of of hearing out victims, of, you know, signal boosting, getting allegations out there, they're not suitable at all. Because the second they get any backlash, it all fucking crashes down.
And after a little bit of this, you can hear sirens approaching. It's
There we go. I think it's safe now, actually.
This was for Brony in particular.
No, I didn't say.
But regardless if this was a police officer or not, someone does approach Brony and ask him if he needs help before the stream then.
No, I think outside was a police officer. Because if you guys, again, you know, shout out to Slug Entertainment, because like they were watching them actively, and they actually called the police. That guy's a fucking legend, okay?
Yes.
Like he actually like found, like, you know, like phone numbers on the buildings next to where the bridge was, and they gave the reporter directions, you know, for where to find them exactly. They were on it. They were on business.
I'm Wade. You need some help?
Wait, the name's Wade? Oh no,
No.
Probably you.
You want to talk to me?
No.
Why not?
I'm sorry, you know, forgive me if I'm being offensive to people, like, you know, in a dark mental place, but all I want to say, just get a life. I'm sorry. Like, you know, a shitty 9-to-5 job at McDonald's would fix this, you know, because you realize slowly, oh wow, there are other things to life apart from running a shitty fucking hate account.
What's wrong, man? People are calling about you. I'm here to help. What's your first name? You got a lot of people coming to help you, man.
And then the Twitter post about them being live was deleted, and the Brony Fandont account replies to it by saying,
Yeah, I think at this point, right, like a separate user came under control for this.
Being admitted to the hospital. Thank you everyone who figured out his location and called for help. I've changed the passwords to this account in the meantime to ensure he gets a break from the onslaught of death threats. I've been trying to avoid this Saber situation as it is highly triggering for me, and unlike the BG situation, I don't have a ton
Oh, Black Griffin, okay.
of knowledge on it. I want to be able to contribute productive information.
Wait, what? I don't have a ton of knowledge on it. Oh my god. Wait, so the ambassador for this, you know, between the Brony account, the Brony Fandont account, and the victim was Bonk, the fucking least unstable, the most unstable person was doing it? Oh god.
Rather than just yell. So please give the victim time to respond. S. I'm logging out again. Then a throwaway post on the RSaberSpark site.
That was it. Okay, I think that was like the last of it, right? Like I'm currently following Brony Fandont, and you know it's right now locked. You can't see unless you follow them before. You can't see them at all. So I think that was the last one, and hopefully it's the last one forever, because that account is not good. By any means.
Be better, don't harass, don't bully. Downvote me to hell all you want, I don't care. But I am extremely disappointed in SaberSpark's fans right now. I had never thought SaberSpark had an audience that would be horrendously cruel as to send death threats.
No, again, I don't believe, right, that they were all SaberSpark fans. I think it was a very fucking insane group of people that immediately switched over to hating on fucking Brony. I think that was the case.
And wish harm, but I clearly thought too highly of them. Yes, it was unwise of Brony Fandont to send the alleged victim to KP.
No, because like, think about it, right? The people that would listen to Brony Fandont about his allegations would have joined them because they went after Black Griffin. And to my knowledge, right, SaberSpark fucking defended Black Griffin. So why would any fans, you know, get behind the Brony if they're going after Black Griffin? Meanwhile, their favorite YouTuber, SaberSpark, is defending him. It's not, in my mind, right, it's not like a very clear Venn diagram.
Of all people to make a video. And yes, they could have handled the Twitter account much better than they did, but that doesn't mean you go harassing someone to the point of them wanting to end themselves. I cannot even imagine all of the threats sent to their inbox because they did have DMs open. And to anyone who's saying, oh, they're just S-baiting, you're either an a-hole or did not watch the stream. I myself have been S-wole, and I cried watching it because I have been in their position before. It was real. This goes for every person involved in this mess. Don't harass or bully anyone, please. And they attached a tweet saying he's been admitted to a hospital that we already read, along with a tweet from Sophie that says, for what it's worth, Bonk is so upset because he has more info to share and is getting harassed by people just blindly believing he is lying. He hasn't said more because the victim isn't ready yet. She's been ill from the stress of all of this. Have some grace regardless of your opinion, please.
Again, you know, until I see more about this, I don't really care much about the victim. Like, you know, they've like waited a lot, you know, to share the evidence, if they have any.
And then Twitch chat messages from
I'm surprised, you know, they've been radio quiet for nearly 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
DZ, who says, I don't give a shit if this artard ends himself.
They were fine with, like a violent, they were fine with like graphically, depicting what happened back in 2012. But the second they asked for any evidence, they were very slow with it for nearly 2 weeks.
Over false horse famous celebrity allegations sounds like a skill issue. And Ace of Shadow saying, good luck having anyone believe you in the future with this shit. And Reaper Rose replying to Aries saying, and they show no proof either. And Plum saying, I don't care if they're S-baiting. Bonk really needs someone to get them out of the internet because they're clearly unstable. Wow Mega says mean. MP Sai says this dude refuses to take a scrap of accountability and S-baits on social media. Frosty Coyote says uncover the camera. Force Smooth says I hope everything will be alright. Ace of Shadow says this guy is just baiting. He's on the sidewalk. He's fine. Orange
like the spectrum on this ride is that the least toxic fans, against Brony are just saying, hey man, get off the internet. And the worst people on that spectrum are all just saying, I don't care, it's suicide baiting. They're not being that hateful. I have no idea, how they were driven to this point, of live streaming a bridge or standing near a bridge from very, very friendly people.
Jet says the situation was
I'm sure they were fucking toxic fans 100%, but there's nobody who was that many to drive Bonk to that point.
Terribly, but as
I think from the very beginning they were just very mentally unstable, and a tiny gust of wind pushed them.
This is not the answer.
So once again they were never suitable at all for the role.
Anywho, Step Ann says, no matter what they did, there are people calling for his ass. That is never okay. Wow Mega says, attention seeking freako, ruin a man's life, and now it's all about you. Then they attach a tweet from Sinna Serena that says, imagine having a melty because you couldn't ruin
a melty? Who calls a mental breakdown a melty?
Someone's life without evidence. Please don't delete your account when you're out of the hospital. You're the funniest clown on the internet right now.
Oh my, that's fucking mean. I
James replies to Brony saying, and stay out. Ugg says, effing artard. Samuel Booker laughs, saying, what a loser you are. Good riddance. False accusers and the people who blindly support them deserve all the hate you get. Drink some gas and smoke an effing cigarette. Literally.
Okay. I walk that back, right? I guess there were some insane people. Yeah, but they're more like just random glub shittos than just really insane people saying death threats or trying to shoot dogs. Bonk.
All you had to do was post the proof and you couldn't even do that. Vam says is the reason people applaud karma. Just desserts. I don't feel bad at all. Everyone likes when someone gets what's coming to them. That's you included. Max Mad says you got the audience you wanted so badly. And Mago Tago says fuck you. Another post from Vam saying there's a reason you never hear about people committing acts on live stream or filming it. It's a deeply personal act. The only reason he went live was to harbor sympathy and seek attention. Going live isn't something
I feel like that was the case, unfortunately.
As person thinks of doing in the midst of ending it. Scooby Doing says, I laughed when he got what he deserved. I mocked him when he showed he had no proof. It was funny and was warranted. A dumb kid threatening to end himself because people with cartoon avatars mocked him is just sad and shows how truly lost a person is.
Oh, I want to laugh at that so bad. People with cartoon avatars mocking him. Oh my god.
Yes. Logan Williams says there's nothing to wait for, little bro. These people are clearly lying and can't take the L. Now they're trying to S-bait to gain sympathy from people. Lily Rose says, shut up you artard, go disappear in the woods. Indy Langer saying, get fucked poser. Dragul Greg replies, dude, it's really hard to feel sorry for someone who tried to paint another as a vicious predator and then proceeded to double down on it when it was proven false.
Again, that's so fucking true. Time and time again. You can't really feel bad for them because they were never being charitable at all. The second they got any backlash, they were doubling down on it, being like, guys, are you on the right side of history supporting Sabres Park, a predator? They were never right in the first place at any point in time.
Of course, no, nobody really wants them dead, unless you're chronically online. But you can't just do something like what they did and expect to walk away unscathed. Instead of trying to put themselves away forever, they should consider some inner reflection, to be honest. Electrifying Seer says, no one should be harassed like this, but he did incur some wrath onto himself. People are very angry right now because he tried to ruin somebody else's life and livelihood. It's an eye for an eye with
that's what I'm sorry, but it gets more ridiculous the more you think about it. They were sitting on the testimony for over 2 weeks, and at no point did they try to get more evidence or being like, guys, I'm talking to the victim, please wait, for more evidence. They were panicking the second the response came out. They were sitting on the fucking fat ass until then, not caring. They really believed that a testimony would be enough.
It's not right to harass him, but it was never right of him to step in and support a liar with no evidence. The punishment here does not fit the crime, as everyone telling him to die and saying slurs is really fucking bad, and I think it would be better.
Bear in mind, right, it's very the second they made that tweet saying I was promised something, it was very clear that it's just a biased hit piece. That's it.
Everyone who was angry with him just blocked his account and stopped engaging.
Maybe 10% cared about justice, but the other 9% wanted fucking revenge. They wanted blood.
Nihility is better than hostility. Midnight Morper says, look, I don't want Bonk to end himself and all that, but frankly, I can't feel sorry for him when he's legitimately screaming with his full chest, Saberspark is a P and you're all protecting a P. I did nothing wrong. Mr. Enter tweets out, an update on the Saberspark situation. So in the past week, a lot of stuff has happened
actually,
in regards to these.
I think I read through this and and like all he said was like, listen, it'll take longer because this is a fucking mess.
SaberSpark/ILoveKimPossibleALot situation. I wasn't going to say anything ahead of time, but with what has transpired in the previous couple of days, and really among this whole event, I think that it is important to say some things preemptively, and a lot of people are curious about a lot of things, so I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. There are many things I practically can't reveal, and other things I do not yet have the permission to reveal. Yesterday, as I write this, one of the 2 users who run the Brony Fandont accounts
Okay, so I guess it was confirmed that we have more people running the account by this guy, Mr.
streamed what appeared to be an attempt on their life. First on Twitch, and as the Twitch account was banned, they tried on Twitter. They were found, and according to Sophie, who also runs the account, they've been admitted to a hospital. They are currently alive as far as I'm aware. The impetus of this does seem to be caused by a lot of generalized harassment, and it must be said, it doesn't matter what you think of any of the people involved in all of this, outright harassing people is never called for. Even if you believe the worst of ILoveKimPossibleALot or Brony Fandont or the accuser, or even SaberSpark, just flaming them with death threats on Twitter is not productive at best and detrimental to anything you're trying to do. Do not fucking harass people. I have my own criticisms of everyone involved, but do not fucking harass them. I have seen SaberSpark's response to the whole thing. In my personal opinion, it's not a very good response video. He does address the biggest allegation, but only barely. In my personal opinion, it looks
I guess, yeah, but like how many times can you repeat the false? Just say once, that's fine enough.
the first step.
It's very hard to prove a negative. All you can do is, like prove the bias, between KP and Brony Fandont, which we did show.
And setting up a defamation lawsuit towards ILoveKimPossibleALot and Brony Fandont more than anything else. I don't know if SaberSpark could win a lawsuit, but in the United States, generally speaking, the phrase is you could sue anyone for anything. I personally believe he will at least try, but we'll have to wait and see in that front. I have also noticed that SaberSpark mentioned Black Griffin in the video. The accuser is, at very
that part was shady in my opinion.
least, a real person. This is not an allegation that KP or Brony Fandont conjured up from thin air. It comes from a human being that is not KP or Brony. They are a real
Yeah, I think for a split second I believed it, like last week or 2 days ago, but the more you look at what Brony said, it was very clear. It did come from like an actual victim, like an actual person, sorry, and not like a figment of imagination.
Person, and I have spoken with them personally, voice call and all. They do exist. I bring this up because a lot of people seem to believe they simply don't. I know exactly who the accuser is. I will not reveal them to the public without their express consent. Speaking of which, I have seen the Google Doc. My only comment on this is that, to my knowledge, no one on the investigation team had anything to do with it. I do not believe that KP or anyone else assisting her wrote it either. I will have to address the long Twitter thread that Brony Fandont released yesterday. Due to the circumstances, I'd really rather not, but I don't want misinformation to spread. I tried to contact them on Discord as I noticed it, and Phineas has tried to contact them on
Phineas? What the fuck is Phineas?
Twitter, but at present, neither has gotten back to us. At this point, for what should be seen as obvious reasons. The thread is mistaken about many things. For some reason, Bonk believes that Lazy Bedhead is making the video. She's not. I am. And we've made this clear to the accuser repeatedly. It was literally one of the first things that I told to the accuser, and it was said again to the accuser on the night of the 12th, so I'm not aware how that miscommunication happened. The only theory is that in the KP message,
oh my god, everybody here is so fucking dumb.
she mentions Lazy and not me. From my understanding, you shared a Dropbox file with Lazy and Lazy. We did do a background check.
Wait, what? Wait, so KP blew up on the accuser for a mistake that would not affect them because it's being shared with like confidential people that would not dox that would not leak that info. Oh my gosh, he's so moronic. If that's true.
On the accuser, when we discovered who they were, there were two.
I'm guessing like KP was suspicious of Miss Enter and Lazy, but like odds are you can trust like actual like somewhat professional YouTubers for this.
Talks with the accuser directly. One with Lazy Bedhead alone, and one with myself.
Like if you don't trust ILoveKimPossibleALot, odds are you can trust anybody else.
Phineas and Lazy Bedhead on the night of the 12th. Being described as having the allegations thrown in their face is simply wrong. We talked about them. We got the accuser's side of the story. They were able to provide receipts, and while many of them still do need to be verified, they were at least amicable to discussion. We talked.
Oh shit! Oh, so they're like a proof. Okay.
About many things, including SaberSpark's response video. Yesterday at night, the accuser did.
I mean, if it's like receipts, like email, the only proof I saw, from before then was like an email thread from the hotel at the convention back from 2012 or 2014, but that was it.
At least
I feel like, if they're real receipts, they're not like that, shady. Like they can just be posted online.
That's when we checked in on them. I have no comment at this time on KP's voice message to the accuser. I will only state that we also received this message from the accuser during our call and have confirmed the accuser did not want the message released publicly. Yes, I have seen.
Wait, what? Wait, so again, I have confirmed the accuser did not want the message released publicly. Oh wait, so Brony held on to it, and then they held on to. Okay, so I'm gonna drop the point. I'm gonna convert that point now that Brony used that message against KP and the accuser to save their own ass. Oh my god, dude. You're pathetic.
Rich's message to Rachel, I love Kim Possible a lot. I will comment on it in the video. Yes, I have seen the full unedited call between Chris and I love Kim Possible a lot that sparked this whole entire thing. I will also comment on that in the video. Once again, do not fucking harass anyone. Brony Fandont and I love Kim Possible a lot didn't vet a story/accuser. There is no reason to issue them death threats, even if you believe that Superspark is innocent, especially before the dust has settled. A lot of people harass the accuser's Twitter burner account. This is also a fucked up thing to do, even if you think they are making it up.
Yeah, you know what, like, there might be like an actual story behind this. So like, I trust this guy a tad bit. I trust him a tad bit, but you know, he's way more reliable than, you know, this fucking charade of morons.
Until that dust settles, and even afterwards possibly, there's always a chance that they could be telling the truth. I do not believe harassing Saberspark is the correct course of action either. If you believe the worst of him, the correct course of action is justified criticism and walking away from his content, not to death threats, cyberstalking, etc. This investigation is
No, I want to send death threats, please.
taking longer than anticipated for various reasons. I do not want to make any mistakes with my final judgment in the final video. Because I need to eat, I will be doing my usual work on the side, and I would not expect this investigation video to be the next one that I do at any rate. GameCat replies, with all due respect, there wasn't much for Saber to address in his video. The accusation lacks any publicly available evidence. Maybe you've seen it, but the rest of us haven't. As such, the only response he needs to give is,
oh, yeah, good point actually. Yeah, like maybe he said that, but you know, with what he knows, you know, despite what we know as a people.
it's not true. No more, no less. Willie says in our members only Discord, this guy is clearly not mentally capable of bringing forward serious allegations when he immediately S-baits, cries harassment, and shifts blames to others like KP when people bring forth reasonable criticism that would knock the validity of these claims. While KP did do a horrible job at bringing forth the allegations, this guy is at this point worse, because at least KP took her video down when people called her out. Fandont has lost credibility because of his
Holy shit, they're right. Brony is worse actually, by proxy.
schizophrenic reaction to criticism and is now failing to S-bait. Absolutely pathetic. Now I'm sure there's a bunch more updates that are going to come out about this whole Brony Fandont story. I doubt this is going to be the last we hear from them, especially if the victim themselves is going to reveal their identity. So subscribe below with notifications on so you don't miss any future updates. Shout out to our
Oh bro, trust me, I'll be on any fucking updates after this. Holy shit, right? I think the only things I learned from this was, you know, like the other tweets that Brony made, that's it. Oh, sorry, and also as well, the full document by Mr. Enter. Yeah, I think I just read like, you know, like the last part about how it's taking longer, that's it. But, you know, once again, my opinion is still the same. This is fucking insane by every single party. For one, you have KP, right? She's insane, can't trust her, because, you know, like she will slit your throat if it helps her out, you know, to save her credibility. You have Brony Fandont, they're like a Jenga tower, right? They will flip, you know, at any backlash that's warranted. And when I mean warranted and backlash, I mean, like, you know, like criticisms, not death threats. No, fuck no at all. And then you have the victim who, she might be telling the truth, right? But she's being very, you know, like, she's rushing this, but also being very slow. So she got a story out there, but she didn't really get all evidence, right? Or she wasn't feeling comfortable to show it all online. Jesus Christ. Hopefully this new guy, this new contender, as you know, the platform, Mr. Enter, he might be better. But for all I know, right, his video might be about, you know, KP and Brony, and instead of, you know, like, helping out the victim, they might tackle them, but like, if there's more to be had with these insane people, he might go after them more, you know, if the allegations are just a nothing burger. That might be the case. But, you know, despite that, I'm looking forward to that, and also the interview with Beckett and KP. Both these things will be interesting. All I want to see is more updates. You know, but like, you know, I don't want to see that Brony Fandont account come back ever. Please fucking keep it offline for good, for eternity.